Hi, I'm Bersercules, the Berserk Herc, and soon it will be Christmas! Yay! And this year, I brought my own beard. Ha 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 ha! Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Today I'll be reviewing an old Christmas short called Santa's Pocket Watch. Jeepers! I hope it's not like the watch scene from Pulp Fiction. Your dad gave me this watch to give to you, and for years I kept it up my bum. I don't know why. I just like having things up my bum. It smells like poo. Merry Christmas! Ho ho ho! Anyway, so the Christmas short starts off with a long still shot of a winter landscape and a narration by Santa Claus telling the audience about where he lives and that it is Christmas Eve, and then going on to tell us about his elf helpers. Action-packed adventure, here we come.
It was Christmas Eve, which is the busiest night of the year for me and my little helpers. Let me introduce you to them.
And what are the names of the elves going to be? Are they going to be interesting names like the elves in The Lord of the Rings? Or are they going to be regular names like people you'd meet on the street? Or are they going to be silly, goofy, or ironic names like you'd expect in some dumb kids cartoon? Let's find out!
This stout little fellow is Stubbs. And standing on top of Stubbs's head is Stubbs's best friend. We call him Socks. And keep your eyes open for Specs. Ah, here he comes.
What? They're just named after attributes they have? That's it? Awesome. Very original, fat man in a red suit. Seriously, you call the short stubby guy Stubbs? Isn't that a bit mean? Even for a Christmas cartoon? Couldn't he be named something ironically instead, like Gigantor or Big Man? And Specs could be called Perfectly Eye-Sighted Young Boy. Anyway, I guess in the Santa naming game, I'm Tubbs McBaldhead. And Hitler is Silly Stash McJuicenoven. Huh. Oh, and Socks, the one with a sock on his head, could be called a regular name, like Coates. What? That's a regular name. Remember Bible Man? And is Santa such an ass he won't chip in for a step stool? Is it really cheaper to have Stubbs employed than a fucking step stool?
Oh, and this is Pockets. We've never seen his hands. We think he's holding his trousers up.
What? Was that a masturbation joke? In a kid's cartoon? It really is Christmas! Merry Christmas! 'Cause nothing says Christmas like a masturbation joke in a kid's cartoon. And later in this cartoon, what does Santa give this elf who so desperately needs a belt?
What else could we get, Pockets?
That's right, more pockets! Don't give the elf you think has to constantly hold up his pants a belt or anything. Just get him more pockets! More fucking pockets! Don't we all just want more pockets? The solution to world hunger! More fucking pockets! I got a fever, and it ain't for cowbell. I need more pockets. The gift for the elf who has everything. Even more pockets! Even in places you wouldn't need them. Oh, and pockets is cool? Was that his Christmas gift from the previous year? A t-shirt with his name on it? Lame. I think I'm fine with Santa never having given me a gift in my life. Anyway, back to the elf introductions.
This cheeky young rascal is Pimple. He usually gets himself into trouble.
What? Now there's an elf in a diaper shaking his ass at the camera? Merry Christmas! I hope you like diapered twerking. And since we're on the topic of people sticking their asses at the camera, yes, there's a lot of ass shots in this kid's Christmas cartoon. Diapered ass, elf ass, little boy ass, reindeer ass, more elf ass, bear boy ass, mom ass, but never her face. And of course, it really wouldn't be Christmas without tons and tons of Santa's ass. In fact, most of the animation in this cartoon is stilted and bland, but the animator goes all out for some of these ass shots. Jeepers! There's more ass in this kid's cartoon than a porno about asses that went overboard in all the ass shots. Did some kid out there wish for a Christmas cartoon with lots of Santa ass shots? 'Cause if they did, Merry Christmas! 'Cause nothing says Christmas like ass. That's why I'm being an ass for Christmas. 'Cause I'm not normally? And more importantly, Santa, is he a baby in a diaper you're forcing to work for you? Or is he an adult diaper fetishist who's into wearing diapers and cosplaying as a baby? There's no good answer here, Santa. This is fucked up. And now back to the elf roster.
Old Tash is next.
Who is an old elf with a mustache.
And here we have Conk.
Who's called that not because of his falling down and conking his head, but because of his big nose. Which is weird because Sock seems to have an even bigger nose. And at some point, they seem to think that Pockets has the largest nose. And yes, there's a subplot in this cartoon about measuring your noses in the Guinness Book of Records, which gets referenced or seen quite a few times. Santa even gets Conk a new copy for Christmas. Is this Christmas cartoon just one giant ad for the Guinness Book of Records? Because if it is, that would explain a lot. Like, why it's so boring. Advertisement and product placement. Merry Christmas, baby Jesus. I hope you like shit.
That's me. Handsome fellow, what?
Handsome fellow what, indeed.
And this here is Ruffles. He knows more about sleeping than anyone I know. Except perhaps faithful old Garibaldi.
Wait, the reindeer's name is Garibaldi? Really? Wait, there's only one reindeer? What? Is one reindeer enough to carry Santa's fat ass through the air? Not that I know anything about reindeer flight dynamics or anything, but jeepers! Only one reindeer? I guess the animator was really calling the shots. The Night Before Christmas poem must be really lame in this dimension. Anyway, so after Santa has listed off all his employees, he gets ready and heads off in his sleigh to deliver all his presents. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Garibaldi, now Garibaldi, now Garibaldi and Garibaldi. On Garibaldi, on Garibaldi, on Garibaldi, and Garibaldi. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all! And by all I mean Garibaldi, because he's the only one. And as Santa dots the night sky, we move over to a kid named Sam's house as he gets ready for Christmas. And moons us. Thanks, kids' Christmas cartoon. Now I don't have to go look at porno to see ass this Christmas. Jeepers, I hope Santa at least gets him a belt.
Sam's mother asked what he was hoping to have for Christmas. What I really want, more than anything, is to meet Santa.
Gee, I wonder if that will happen. Nope, the end. Just kidding, sadly.
Well, I'm afraid it's time you were in bed, she said.
Wow, that's one butch-sounding mom. Well, I'm afraid it was time you were in bed. Hail, Satan! It's nice to know the narrator didn't even try for a woman's voice. Seriously, though, I can't tell if that's the narrator narrating the mother's lines or him voicing the mother's character. Because he does both throughout this cartoon, for all the characters. That's right, the narrator is going between narrating what people are saying and voicing them saying what they're saying.
Old Tash looked on as Pimple asked Sam if he would like to help lay the table for the party.
Or...
You think you'll be back in time for the party tonight? Asked Pimple. Why, yes, of course, you cheeky little chap.
It becomes hard to tell who's saying what, and what is narration, and whose voice is whose. It's as confusing and annoying as one of my Superman reviews. Now I know how you guys feel. And another thing, they often have one person talk, as you see their backside, and the listener's front side, and then when the listener talks, you see their backside. Did the makers of this cartoon think people talked out of their asses? Did the makers of this cartoon talk out of their asses to get this made? Jeepers! So Sam is sent to bed, and then later sneaks down to spy on Santa, and when Santa arrives, Sam sneaks into his sack, and Santa inadvertently takes Sam with him on his trip back to the North Pole. Wow, they're really half-assing this animation. Look at how slow and choppy it is, and how it pauses on lame scenes with no movement. You could cut this short down to half its length, and it would still be twice too long. In fact, this whole cartoon is full of stilted animation and slow-happening scenes that have barely any real movement in them. Which is way better than lots of action scenes and excitement, if you're the animator. Wow, this whole one reindeer thing is really working for the animator. When animators are in charge of directing. So as they fly through the air, Sam sneezes, and Santa and Garibaldi look at him, and they look at him, and then they keep flying until Sam yells out and they crash into a tree. Wow. Great reaction time. And the music stops when the crash happens. Was the music just a tape in the sleigh? So as we look over the crash, is Santa ever depicted as a good sleigh driver?
completely lost control because of that little boy. Why, of course, a little boy. Here I am, Santa. Up here. Stay calm. Don't panic. Ah!
Oh, and yeah, Santa's really clumsy in this cartoon. The clumsiest ever. Steve Urkel and Archie Andrews, eat your hearts out.
And it's off home to the slap-up party. Oh, I'll just get these blooming boots on. Don't panic. Ah!
And now with Santa knocked out, Sam rubs his ass. Merry Christmas! And then starts to cry as he thinks Santa is dead. Merry Christmas! But luckily, well, depending on your opinion, Santa is alive. Yay! And offers to take Sam to the North Pole with him. 'Cause who cares if his mom might be at home worried that he's missing and possibly getting raped. So off they go, and arriving at Santa's workshop...
Look, it's a little boy, said Stubbs, trying some acrobatics.
Leave the mocking comments to me, narrator. Look at his lame acrobatics. Ha 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 ha, that's dumb.
Oh, a little boy, thought old Tash.
Why is Tash so happy to know a boy's showing up? What kind of party is this? Even the other elves seem confused by his actions, and they live with a diaper fetishist. Anyway, they all introduce themselves to Sam, and he shakes their hands or noses. Don't shake anything else they whip out in front of you, Sam. Then they all go inside, and Santa and Garibaldi have a rest as Sam and the elves start setting up the table for the upcoming Christmas meal. And boy, oh boy, do they go into detail with the table setting up scene. They show each of them carrying something up to the table in their own individual scene. Plates, utensils, food, and all while a musical interlude plays. Wow, this is more elaborate and long-winded than the table setting scene in The Hobbit. J.R.R. Tolkien could learn a thing or two from them. You know, if he wasn't dead. Oh, this is brilliant! I can see why they wanted to drag this scene out. 'Cause they're filling for time. And after more than a minute of this table-setting montage, they all gather around and start to eat. And then Santa starts going into detail about what each elf is eating. This whole cartoon is a test in endurance. Seriously, he talks about who's eating what for almost 2 full minutes. That's 1/10 the entire runtime of this cartoon. That doesn't even include the table-setting scene. Jeepers! I get that eating is a very Christmassy thing to do, but I don't think it's so enjoyable to watch it should make up 1/10 the runtime of a Christmas cartoon. Then Santa says it's time for presents, and we get a shot of his ass. Santa presents. Who wished for that for Christmas? Fuck you! So Pimple gets food that will give him pimples, Socks gets new socks, Pockets gets more pockets. Oh, and Santa, if you're out there and wanting to get me a gift, don't forget my name is Gold Cash World Peace and a blowjob from a super hot woman with really big tits. It doesn't matter what you get me. I'm sure you'll think of a suitable gift. Anyway, Conk gets a new Guinness Book of Records, and can look up who has the largest conch. I think Santa did against that tree earlier. Stubbs gets stilts so he can be taller, and Specs gets Elton John glasses. No, really, Santa actually says that.
Elton John glasses.
Tash gets a comb for his mustache. Garibaldi gets a bowl of cherries, and the dog gets a stack of cucumber sandwiches. Yes, get the dog who does nothing, food high in carbohydrates. And as Sam's gift is at home in his stocking, and not wanting him to feel left out, Santa gives Sam the titular pocket watch. Does he not need that? He's used that twice in this cartoon alone. And he's just giving it away? Anyway, then the party devolves into a musical jam as they sing Christmas songs. And Sam, like the people watching this, starts to fall asleep. And then the scene changes as we see it was all a dream. Or was it? Huh! He has Santa's watch! Santa is real! This all happened! Holy Christmas! And that's it. It's now the end. You know nothing and nothing and nothing at all. But do you recall the only reindeer at all? Garibaldi, the only reindeer, had a very silly hat. And if you ever saw him, you would even say, holy shit, reindeers do exist. And all of the other reindeers didn't do anything because they don't exist. No one to let poor Garibaldi join in any reindeer games. Then one silly Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, well, Garibaldi, old chap, Sam's house is the last delivery on our list. Then it's off to the slap-up party. Then all the other reindeers continue to not exist. Garibaldi the cherry-eating reindeer. You'll go down in history as the only reindeer